Okay, there we go. How's it going, guys? Steven here. Welcome back to my channel. Authentic Aspie. If you guys are new here, please subscribe, like the video, share it, all the platforms, and make sure you check out my last video with with Dr. Ingrid. Amazing stuff. You guys should push that out. Anyways, so after I posted that video, I actually met a person that messaged me about how her son is doing better. And after talking to her a little bit on Instagram, I was like, this is like a really good story to show the discrimin the discriminatory things that go on for neurodivergence. Like, of course, there are for adults, and in the future, I do want to do an interview with adult on the spectrum, like showing like even more of that. But like, um, it happens in the school system. So I have here Sarah on the line. She's a mother of an 11-year-old. She has low support needs, autistic. So without further ado, and she's also a physician assistant, so she's into science. So I do respect anyone who's in like the STEM field and the tech and everything, because I'm a math student. So, and I'm doing accounting, so I respect anyone who is sciences. So, anyways, without further ado, take it away, Sarah. Uh,
Hi,
yeah, hi.
I'm
how
happy
how are you?
to. I'm doing great. I'm really happy um, to share my experience with my son and all the challenges and achievements, and also the discrimination along the way. So yeah, it's something that I'm very passionate about because throughout the process with my son, there's been a lot of things that I've learned along the way that there was really no way for me to learn it without going through it. There's no, books out there, or this is how you deal with your autistic child, because every single child has uh, different needs. So, there's really not like a uh, dictionary or one resource to go to get an answer on these things. So my son, he was diagnosed at 3. We put him in ABA therapy, speech therapy, music therapy, horse therapy, you name it, we did it. And it was great. He The first speech, the ABA therapy really helped him. Um, we did ABA therapy up until he was about 6. And then we realized quickly that the ABA therapy is a catch 22 because it basically kind of wires your child to think that anytime they do anything, they're going to get something. And after a while, there's only so much you can give your child as a prize to do things. So then, so then quickly I found out that the ABA therapy, while it was great for him to start his speech, it resulted in a lot of behavioral issues, and just some he didn't understand why he wasn't being given things, just to do simple tasks, to answer questions, to go and wash his hands. So that in the ABA is something that a lot of parents have their kids in, and it's somewhat people. There's people that are for ABA, and there's people that are against it, and then there's some of us that are like, well, hey, I need all the help I get. Let me check it out. So, and also ABA for the majority of the schools, at least out here in Arizona, uh, basically the school has to be ABA in order to accept the ESA, or what the government will give a a child, um, they'll give them tuition to go to one of these autistic schools, but the school basically has to be ABA. So your options of different schools are extremely limited, and you have to do the ABA. And
Okay.
yeah, so that's one thing. And in people, I think the consensus out there for people that have really worked in the autism field, and are always constantly looking at new data, and people that are out there that are working with children who are autistic, um, are have changed their mindset about ABA. I mean, a good friend of mine who has been working with autistic children for 50 years, um, she said, hey, the way that I be dealt with kids 3, 4 years ago is different from what I do now. And she said, I don't tell a lot of people that I'm against ABA, because then you lose half your friends, you lose half of your colleagues. But she has been doing this for years, and she's like, it doesn't make sense. And this is a person that worked with ABA therapists and worked in schools that were ABA. But she's very passionate about autism and research with autism, and she really understands it. So, but for us, where we found the most stressful and discriminatory type of behavior was at an autism school, which was very shocking, because you think, okay, this school is an autistic school, they're going to know, they're going to be able to tell me what to do. But you quickly
Right.
find out, yeah, like you quickly find out that um you know most of these autistic schools, it's it's run by one person, and everybody else does what that one person wants everyone else to do. And a lot of the teachers are not real teachers, they don't even have teaching degrees. Where in most of these autism and all these autism schools, at least in Arizona, are private or charter. So they do not have to
Okay.
follow, yeah, they don't have to follow the rules of the education system. So right there,
Excuse me.
yeah, no, yes, no, I mean, yes, I mean, and the other thing is that if your child has a educational diagnosis of autism, you basically you get a significant amount of money, like you get more money, and then you have your pick of the schools. And so all this is like, oh well, this is so great, and but these schools they're about doing the least amount, I mean, the least amount of
The
work
least amount of
for,
work.
huh,
The least amount of work. Yeah.
the least amount of work.
Yeah.
And and just my son went to a one of the best uh autism private schools in the state. um it took, it takes a lot to get your foot in the door. They have like, they're like, okay, we only take 26 kids a year, and there's 150 that want to get into the school. So you think, oh, okay, we got in. And but it these schools have been, either a lot of them have been bought out by private equity or corporations that um, are basically running the show as well. Okay, And so, and it's about making profit. Actually, I just saw this in the news, people talking about, the ESA and parents want it. It's their right. They should be able to choose their school. And I understand that for some certain individuals, but at the same time, if your kid has, a learning disorder or just going through a rough time, okay, like just regular emotions, you know, these private schools, they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. They can put your kid in a room and lock it.
I'm just gonna call it how it is. Like these schools are making money off of disabilities. I'm so
Yep,
that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm
yep,
gonna call it how it is. If you guys, it's a hot take. If you're hating on it, you can unsubscribe. But that's what it is. You know what I mean? Uh,
yeah.
tell us like what was told about your son about not being able to do what like
Well,
exactly like
so
yeah.
basically, my son has low support needs. We didn't right away put him into the public school system. We um, or public school or a school where he would be on his own. We put him in an autistic school that was their focus was to they prepare your child for their home school or the public your closest public school, right? So
Right.
they have a track that it's just preparing your kid to, basically go to general education. Um, so that's where he was, and he was there for a little over 3 years. As soon as we got there, everything was good, but if you spoke up and asked questions, it wasn't the type of conversation or it wasn't welcomed like my experience had been with other therapies that were funded through either direct pay or our health insurance. Okay. So,
Right.
right. So it was good. And then then what happened was situation changed for the school. And because of a teacher that couldn't handle active boys, they put my son in a different part of the school. So basically, he was in a contained room with other kids that did not speak. And basically, they said, he has to do things this way, and this is how what we're going to do. Basically, completely did not want to hear or think about my son and his personal needs and which is very important for patient people on the spectrum. And so long story short, after going through several months of getting phone calls or getting a note saying that your son had to be basically they call it like a hold. They if he looked like he was going to misbehave, um, they basically had a guy in the room that would take him and put him down and then bring him into a room. They call it a cool down room. And, you know, and that's how they handled things. So it just became like a vicious cycle, because basically, okay, the cool down room is fun. I'm going to go there because I don't want to be around everyone else because it's overwhelming because they weren't, helping with the personal things that he needed to succeed. Um, and basically, after meeting with the school several times, it was pretty clear that they were not going to, give him personal, um, like give him like a personal plan. Like he was going to be treated just like all the other students, which is very ironic and just doesn't make sense because that's the whole thing with autism. Every kid is different. So they had said, when I had asked them about, hey, is he going to go back to the regular classroom? They said, well, possibly. And then I said, well, okay. So how are we planning for his transition off to middle school? And their answer was, oh, well, he can come here for middle school. And, you know, mind you, he was in third grade when I heard that, and they're like, oh, we don't even, but their middle school and high school, they can't, they're not even able to give your kid a GED. They don't have the, um, everything in place to where they can actually offer a high school diploma. Okay. So as a parent, I bring my kid into a school that's, oh, we're going to help your kid get into mainstream school, public school system, a general education class. But no, they're basically saying he's good here. Um, and that they also had told me that he probably won't be able to go to a regular school, and this is what we were told. And you can imagine hearing a teacher, a person that's in charge of everyone at the school, telling me that my kid has no chance. Or I mean, that was my, I mean, she said it pretty clear, well, he probably won't be able to go to a regular school. And, you know, that was very eye-opening to basically what the mindset was there, and what their goals were just to kind of babysit. And, and
To
just to
make
take,
a profit, let's just call it how it is.
yes,
It's like
yep, no, that's what
you
it is.
it sound like the theme of this, and I've been saying this to a lot of people, is that these children and these people on the spectrum are being put in boxes. And I mean, I guarantee it. I mean, that I'm not making this
That's
up. You guys
yeah,
subscribe to the channel. You guys should subscribe. I'm telling you, like this is exactly what's going on. And it's like, and what's funny is that one of the careers that I thought of doing was being an ABA, but then I was like, I'm not going to put neurodiversity in boxes because that's not what I believe in. So, so yeah, just I mean, this is just an example of what is happening in the U.S. right now. What is happening is we're chanting autism in April, but this is what we're doing to these autistic kids. I'm telling you. And then guess what's going to happen when they're adults? It's going to be worse. So if you don't put them in the right environment now, they're going to pay for it tenfold,
yep,
tenfold.
yep.
Like this should not be happening. So,
No, I mean,
um,
I mean, to think that I mean, when I had shared with my friend who teaches special ed at college level, and I had shared with her basically, you know, because I wanted to know, because they had me sign something, about the understanding how the cool down room works. And when I reached out to her, she was like, wait, they use one of those? And was pretty much shocked. And then, and so was I, because I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, a kid is having a rough day, and you're going to physically, be physical with them and put them in a room and leave them alone for what? To get more angry, like to know, to understand, to think that, like, oh, okay, nobody's here for me, nobody's going to help me. And that's being done in a school system where the government is paying them. The government. That's, everybody is up and talking about how, Arizona, is, people should have the right to pick their schools. Well, guess what? There's nobody regulating these schools. And that's government money going into a school that it's not serving the purpose of helping the child. It is serving the purpose of being like a babysitter. But the thing is, nobody talks, nobody cares. Um, you know, there's nobody ever policing these things. And that's the thing is that, okay, here you go, here, everybody gets money and pick your school. Well, you know, and there's more schools, they're popping up everywhere, and they're owned by big corporations. And this is what we've seen in healthcare too, is basically private equity, big corporations come in and they buy, a doctor's office, and they sell, they give a good check to the doctor who has the office, and then they get in there, and then quickly, things change. Basically, and it's always at the cost of the patient. And it's so relatable to the autism thing too. So you know people always be talking about the government. We're spending so much money on our taxpayers are paying, the government for these things. And um, this is there's so much money going out to families, not just on the spectrum, but just in general, for these schools that do not have to follow IEPs. None of them do. Okay.
That's stupid.
It's only the
I
public
mean,
schools. I know. The IEP, is basically, it's crucial for any child that has, ADD, or, maybe has anxiety, or, or has Tourette's, or, anything.
I'm
They're
familiar with those. I had an IEP
Yeah.
myself as well. Yeah. So
Yeah, they're
yeah,
important, and they are, they're a big to do. We hired somebody, when we to help us, and most teachers will tell you that when they go to these IEP meetings for their kids, they bring an IEP. They will bring somebody with them, because the IEP is very complicated, which it's complicated, but it helps serve the child when it's done, correctly. And that's why, because we had hired somebody to help us. And again, we were very fortunate where we could hire somebody. But there are different places, and that you can get help with the IEP. But to me, eh, the so my son, back to my story. I pull once I knew that the school's attitude of, well, he's not going to go to
was
a
piss
regular
poor.
school. What? Yeah. Yeah,
So
so yeah,
so
piss poor,
the
yeah.
attitude of the school is piss poor, and now
Yes.
your
So
son is like doing
my
public. Now he's in public
right.
now, right?
Yeah, so I just pulled him out and brought him into public school. And I'm going to tell you that, you know, this public school was so welcoming, and it was, like, they just got it. They understood what to do. Like, I was just like, okay, where have you guys all been? Like, why are you not working in, and so my son, he was in a school with just autistic children from first grade to like one quarter into fourth grade. And then we pulled him into the gen ed class, and literally, because they had the other school, they're supposed to keep so much information about the child and their needs. They had all the paperwork and everything that they got was completely not helpful. About it did not explain my son, and his behaviors, or what his needs were. So school had to start over. So he basically went straight to a class of 25, and, just gonna wing it and just see how it goes. And that was very nerve wracking for me, but they assured me that, hey, we'll get things together. And they did. He is now, he likes school. He he likes his
He's being listened
teachers.
to
He's being
because he's
it's
being
this
listened to.
Yes.
and he's being empowered by
Yes.
the teacher. This is what happens when you empower people on the spectrum and not limit them. Just because you have autism, don't put them in a box. I'm telling you, just because you put a cool down room in your office or anything, is it makes you about autism. It's like there's no excuse for the piss poor attitude if you're gonna help people on the spectrum. And I will call it how it is, and it's terrible what's happening. And but yeah, this because like autistic children, they need to be experiencing things, and that's why I love, like, you put him in public school. Now he's like seeing a bunch of things, and now when he turns an adult, it's gonna be a lot easier.
Right.
He's gonna grow
Yeah.
up. He's gonna take all those things that he learned and apply them into his life when he goes to college, and he'll start to see like even more of what he needs. And I kid you not, I saw a video, guys, of him doing a presentation. I'd done a lot of presentations, and he's communicating like he's an awesome presenter. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, he's. This is what happens when you empower someone on the spectrum. They start to feel proud of themselves. Let me tell you. So
Yeah.
stop. So people, the viewers out there, stop thinking that autism, there's no hope for you. That's just plain excuse. And schools out there, this shouldn't be happening. There needs to be change on this. So I hope this
No.
video. I hope you guys share the video. I hope you guys do. So yeah, yeah,
Thank you. I mean, I'm
yeah.
so it's just like, I saw you saw the video, and I look at that video and I'm like, I don't think I've ever given a presentation ever that well, like the way he gave that presentation that I shared with you. I mean, he was personal. I mean, I was just like, who is this kid? Like, who is this person? But he did phenomenal. And that's the thing is that we as a country are really missing out on a lot of talented folks. And but they're being crippled, and they're being put in a box. And and it's not right. And it's not kind. Um, and I just hope
Right.
that people listen to this and start thinking, and also to empower other parents to question what schools are telling them. Just because a teacher tells you something does not mean it's right. Or you have to, you need, if you need help, I will give you people that you can, or resources. But you have way more rights than you think you do. And it's, don't be scared to speak up and question. This is your child. It's very important, because if you don't say anything or speak up or ask questions, I guarantee you your kid is not going to even get 75% of what they need. And my child is like living proof. I mean, until I spoke
Right.
up, until I got the courage to, because his father and my brother who helps with him, um, they all said no, he's not ready to go to a regular school. And I just was like, no, well, he can't stay where he's at, because I don't want him locked and being held down, you know. That's not going to be an option. So guess what? We're going to do the public, and if that doesn't work, we'll go to Plan C. But it was very scary to make that choice, but it was the best choice that I have made. And scary choices um, are sometimes nerve wracking, but it's the only way to cause change. Um, in so many different avenues, but specifically with my son, I mean, and that we landed in this school, I don't think it was by an accident. I think that uh, just the persistence. I mean, I did look into exactly, where, what's, I did my research before, but I will
Right.
tell you, I've, I mean, they're just, there's something to be said when you go somewhere, and if you go to a store and you're looking for something and you ask a question like, oh no, I don't know where that's at, or it's somebody who's like, oh well, let me help you, let me help, I'll find you
Right.
that pair of shoes, like, and so yeah, no, just, yeah,
It,
that's
it
it. I
it's
mean,
it's not even that these educators don't know about how to deal with autistic kids. It's just the fact that you say you're about autism like change, and like you just put autistic people down. That's what you're doing. But when you say I'm about change, this is more than just like what I'm trying to show you guys, that it's more than just like bringing more education. This is like a cultural change. Like
oh yeah.
people still, this is like a culture, like how we see autism change, because we can throw all the money out there to parents and like people in general donate all kinds of money. That's not going to change. The thing that's going to change is the way we see autism, changing the narrative, and showing these kinds of stories of what parents are going through with their child. I'm being dead serious. This is the thing that needs to happen. And just because you donate $1 million to like Autism Speaks or whatever, like it's not gonna change much. You have to change the narrative. You have to change how autism is seen. Some people don't even see autism as an actual spectrum, and like every individual experiences it differently. So anyways, thank you so much for coming on my channel and sharing your story. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah. and
All
um
right.
and we're proud of your son. Keep and he keeps going. He has a bright future ahead of him. and
Yes, he
and
does.
keep expressing neurodiversity. Keep expressing neurodivergence.
Yo,
That's my channel.
yeah.
That's the
Yep.
motto. So
Yeah, and if people donate money to anything, you know what? You can donate all the money, but guess what? You need to, if you really care about, change, look at what you're donating to. And if you're donating a lot of money, you should really go and talk to somebody and see what they're doing, because, um, you know, if you want to help with autism, you need to be a part of it. Money's great, but you better make sure you're giving your money to the right people.
right. And not only that, learn about autism. Subscribe to my channel. That's what it's about. Like bringing digestible information to people that don't know about autism. So make sure you subscribe, share the video. I'm always making content. You guys are doing great with watching the contents. I mean, so I'm really happy. Anyways, thank you again for sharing your story. I really appreciate it. And yeah, and an amazing decision, pulling your son out of that school, that and putting him in public. And the experience will trump like anything else for someone on the spectrum. So thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to share my opportunity. I really hope that this helps somebody, and because things have to change. But thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right. See you guys.